hands up. How many of you sit down and you plan out your content for weeks ahead? Or how many of you post a photo or a video in the moment? Okay. Talking to so many of you in person, in my DMs, and in my one-to-one mentorship programs is you struggle to find the time. Hey, hi, and hello, Angelisa here, your host for Braap's Throttle Talk. And today I'm going to talk to you about content creation. Oh my gosh, one of my favorite topics to chat about. I love it so much. Now, I hope you guys can hear me okay. I have been having some mic issues, and my last episode, when I was talking about dialing in your snowmobile to set it up for you, my mic was not recording. I was so bummed because that took like an hour of me recording that entire episode for you, and then the audio was shit. So I do apologize, and I hope this sounds a little bit better. I'm just going to be looking at my notes to make sure I don't forget anything. But before we move on with the episode, a few things, housekeeping things, I do need to announce. So save these dates, okay? So November 28th, which is today, by the time you guys are listening to this. So tonight we are hosting our women's only sled setup, and that's being held at Backcountry Motorsports right here in Pemberton. We will have professional sledders like Steph Sweezy and Jessie Poirier to answer all of your questions. I will also be there. I am no pro, but I will be there because I have tested and tried all of the products out there, and I can give you some of my opinions, feedback, that sort of thing on sled accessories and whatnot. So this is a meetup for all women who are either in their beginning journey or experienced riders. And this is a way for you to come together, ask questions, meet other babes, and to get the stoke going for the winter. I know there's a few of you that have already been out sledding, which is so exciting. This meetup is for you, and I also want to meet you. So let's do it. Another one, I have not announced this publicly yet, so you're hearing it first thing. December 9th is our very first women's only snow bike setup with Lucia Pasterkova, and there will be more details coming out soon. It will be hosted at my place, so here in Pemberton, up the valley in my shop, and let me know if you want to learn more. So this is very exciting because it's the first ever snow bike setup. Okay, moving on. January 17th to the 19th in Abbotsford is the Motorcycle and Powersports show that's happening this year, and I'm so excited to check that out. I will leave a link in the show notes for you to book your tickets online, and I would absolutely love to see you there. I tried going last year, but the whole household, we were so sick with the gastro bug, and we just couldn't make it. So I'm very excited to be going, and I'm partnering up with the Moto show, so I can't wait to see you there. Next up, super exciting, April 5th to the 6th is the Women's Snowmobile Weekend Retreat at Shulin Lake Resorts in Alaska. Yes, you heard that right, Alaska. I am so excited and honored to be the guest rider for that weekend. And I have Angie Burris and Michaela, I'm going to butcher your last name. I'm so sorry, Michaela. Derek Kavarikian. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. We have Angie and Michaela from Anchorage Snowmobile Club to thank for making this trip of a lifetime happen for me. So thank you to you guys. So if you ladies are interested and you want to learn more about this weekend, and perhaps Alaska is on your bucket list, then send me a message and we'll see if we can get you on the list to be a part of that weekend. I am so freaking excited for this one. And it's because I get to capture footage. I get to capture content for the babes. And yeah, I just want to see you send it. So let's make some magic happen. You can send me a message on Instagram. I don't know if I said that. But yeah, that's where you can reach me at. I'll have more announcements as 2025 approaches, so I'll keep you posted. But the best place to hear news like faster is on Instagram, on my broadcast channel, and then on my newsletter. So I will leave a link to both the broadcast channel and also my newsletter, where you can sign up. Okay, that will be in the description box below. Okay, so let's get into the guts of this episode. And this episode is about content creation. I feel like I haven't done a content creation episode in a while, and I feel like it's time. It's time because a lot of you are just getting into sledding. Perhaps you're even riding already, and a lot of you already have your partnerships for the season. The majority of you that listen in over here on Braap's Throttle over on Braap Apes Throttle Talk, you have some type of partnership with a brand, right? So it's either sponsorship, brand collaborator, or an ambassador program. Chances are you've committed to some type of content creation with these partnerships, right? Which is super cool. It's so exciting, and I love creating content for brands. It's got to be the most fun and and the most creative thing that we can do as an influencer. So I just want to know, though, how many of you actually really do struggle when it comes to creating content, right? Hands up. How many of you sit down and you plan out your content for weeks ahead? Or how many of you post a photo or a video in the moment? Okay. Talking to so many of you in person, in my DMs, and in my one-to-one mentorship programs is you struggle to find the time, right? You might have so many ideas, but really what is stopping you is finding the time to do it all. A lot of the people that have been reaching out to me, their posting schedule looks like this. So every morning when they feel like posting, they will sit down with their coffee on the couch and they will go through their albums, like their photo albums on their phone, seeing what they can post that day. And that's what they do. They just go ahead, find a photo, create a caption, and then hit post. Done. Another thing, what a lot of people do is they go on an epic sled adventure and they do some like cool move, or they do something super exciting, and then as soon as they get into the truck and have Wi-Fi, or if they have cell service, they post that moment. They post that adventure, they post that cliff drop, or whatever it is. How many of you are guilty of posting like this? Like you post in the moment, or you sit down and you kind of waste your morning trying to find that perfect photo or that perfect video. You're not alone, okay? I definitely was like that. I was a slave to my phone. But what if I told you that things could be so much simpler, easier when it comes to content creation? I want you to create content with intention and with purpose rather than just posting for the sake of posting. Okay. I can tell when people actually take the time to put together a really nice like content versus like they didn't have time to put together a nice piece of content. Whatever floats your boat though, like some of you don't really necessarily feel the need to be posting specific content for brand partnerships. There might be a very loose contract between you and the partner. However, I think if we can just start to become a little bit more intentional is when more opportunities strike up. What I need you to do is I need you to forget about the idea of posting immediately, okay? Don't be a slave to your phone and feel you need to tell the whole world about that epic adventure that you just had. Because here's the truth. No one is going to know the difference between posting now versus posting 2 weeks later, right? We live in a world where we need instant gratification. That's what Instagram is. It's instant, right? So it creates this urgency. It creates that pressure of we need to post now. We need to show like all the highlights of what we're doing in the now. But I want to challenge yourself to like live in the moment and capture in the moment, okay? And I want you to capture all of your content, whether it's riding, talking to camera, whatever it is that you plan on doing. I want you to focus in on that. And then all of a sudden you're going to have an easier time creating content rather than getting into the truck and posting right away and figuring out what to post. And then all of a sudden you post all of these things all at once and no one sees it. No one sees any of your videos because you just posted 5 videos within 5 minutes, right? So I need you to capture those moments. I need you to live in the moment, and I need you to come home and sit down and create meaningful content and curate those moments with purpose. Okay. So when you're being more intentional, you're also being way more authentic with your online presence. So how do we make the time to create that meaningful content? Well, I'm so glad that you asked. So first off, you need to come up with a posting schedule. I know you've heard this many, many times before, but we need to figure out how many times we're going to be posting. Let's be committed from now on, okay? What seems feasible, doable for you? For the purpose of this podcast episode, we're going to say we're going to post 3 times per week. So that's going to be a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So chances are you have maybe 1 to 3 partnerships, okay? Let's say we have 3 partnerships, whether it's an ambassador program, a sponsorship, or a brand collaborator. So chances are we then post about that one specific brand per week, right? So we've given ourselves now 3 posts. At least one of them is going to be for that partnership. What I need you to do now is like the key component to this whole episode is I need you to schedule in time into your calendar to work on this content. Give yourself an hour or 2 if you can, but give yourself an hour and make this a non-negotiable every single week. Key word, non-negotiable. So you need to find a day that works for you. You need to find a time that works for you. And I really need you to commit to this 1 hour for your content. So you need to treat this, like I said, as a non-negotiable, as if it's an appointment that you cannot skip and you cannot miss. And if you miss it, then you should pay yourself. No, you shouldn't pay yourself. Then you should, you know what, have a jar on your desk and put $25 for that cancellation fee, or not cancellation, but for that like missed appointment. You know, maybe if you want to, I don't know. Is that a positive? Is that a negative? I feel like it might be a positive at the end of the day because you're like saving some money. Maybe don't go with that method, but you really need to treat this as an appointment that you cannot skip, or else like there's going to be some consequences. Like create that moment of you need this for yourself. So during this hour, I want you to turn off all of your notifications on your phone. And on your phone, you can actually put on focus mode, do not disturb, sleep, work, and then people will know when they're trying to call you that they get this kind of alert on their messages that you're busy. Or if the phone rings, it goes straight to voicemail. This will turn off all notifications, so your phone won't be going off and you're not going to have a distraction, okay? So that is extremely helpful. Another tip that I use is I set a timer on my phone for 25 minutes. And this way it allows me to get whatever I need to do, get the stuff done, whatever I need to get done on the computer. And sometimes I'll have that habit of like lifting or grabbing for my phone, and then I look and then I have the timer. Oh, I have 10 more minutes left. Okay, I have 10 more. And then I'll like continue working until, my timer goes. And they do say that it's good to work 20 minutes to 25 minutes of like power focus. And then when that alarm goes off, then you can do a quick scroll if you need to, or get up, walk around. Maybe you can grab coffee, water, move the body, a little bit. So, but work in 20 to 25 minutes at a time. Use a timer. It helps a ton. And it just allows you to get work done, honestly. You'll be surprised on how much you can get done in an hour if you really do focus your intention into that hour. Okay, so within your hour of content creation, this is what I need you to focus on. All right, so number one is brainstorming and planning out content. So take the first 10 to 15 minutes to jot down all of your ideas. Think about recent adventures, your favorite moments from your sport, whether it's sledding, dirt biking, any upcoming events. Is there anything going on in the next, month? Look at your calendar. I want you to visually look at your calendar and see what you have going on. If there is any events, any motorcycle or power sports shows. I want you to find ways where you can showcase personality alongside the brand partnerships that you have going on. So don't worry about making it perfect. Just let the ideas flow. I want you to think, how can I make this content my own? How can I make it a little bit different from what everyone else is doing? And here is a little bonus for you is no one has your voice, no one has your face, okay? So talking to camera or recording your voiceover are two things that you can do differently than everyone else is because they don't have your voice or your face. All right, so I want you to focus on jotting down those ideas for 10 to 15 minutes. After that, I need you to organize your content. So once you've brainstormed your ideas, I want you to pick 3 to 5 of your strongest ideas. These could be anything from specific stories that you want to share, a partnership post, right? Or even a quick tutorial tip for your audience. Organize them into your posting schedule for the week ahead. So, for example, you could say Monday is going to be that pro tip day or tutorial. Wednesday could be a partnership post. And then Friday could be a storytelling type of video. All right, next I want you to create in bulk. So I want you to use the rest of that hour. Let's say it's a half an hour at this point. I want you to create some storyboards and I want you to start recording some quick videos. Bulk creation will save you so much time and reduce the stress of last minute posting. By the end of the session, you should have at least 2 videos, maybe even 3 or more for the week ahead. If you stick to this type of content creation, like if you dedicate that 1 hour session every week, chances are you're always going to be a week ahead, and that posting will become less stressful, and you're going to realize that you don't need to post everything all at once. You're going to realize that you don't need to post what you just did an hour ago. Like all of that stuff can wait. No one's like, there shouldn't be an urgency to be posting epic things. Do you know what I mean? So I want you to work smarter, not harder. That's like the biggest motto in my life, is working smarter, not harder. So here's a pro tip, is repurpose some of your content, or you can rework some of those older content and create a new video, right? That epic sled video that you had from last year, maybe you can do a green screen and talk about what happened before you hit that drop, or, some feelings and emotions that you were experiencing before you went and did that tree line. You can do different types of repurposing for content when it comes to creating reels or TikToks. Do you have a photo of a recent event? You can always write a caption for that, or you can always, write a caption for a partnership post. It's all about creating stories, storytelling, and sharing a little bit more of your personality when it comes to creating content. And this is what I mean by meaningful content, because you're putting intention and you're putting some purpose into your content. You need to commit to consistency for this. Like, content creation isn't about being perfect. The amount of times that I hear from women riders, influencers, are they're trying to find that perfect photo or the perfect video, or they're curating like a certain style or look, and at the end of the day, showing up consistently is gonna outweigh that photo, that like perfect photo. I hate to say it, but it does. Like, if you can get those photos, or if you can get those like really high quality videos, amazing, but not everyone can get that. And if you have a partnership with a brand that is looking for consistency in their branding, right? They hired you to promote their products. So they're not looking for picture perfect photos. And if they are, then they got to realize that that's not going to happen every week, right? That might happen once a year if you have a photographer, if you have a videographer. So it's really up to you to get creative on how you can come up with content that's helping your partnerships, but also branding yourself as well. So when you commit to making time for content creation, you'll find it becomes less of a chore and more of a creative outlet that showcases your love for the sport and your unique perspective, which is so important. Here's what I do, okay? So every Monday, whether it's after work, sometimes it's before work, I will upload all of my footage, okay? So I work off of my computer. I don't work off my phone. It's very rare that I use my phone for editing anything. And so I upload all of my footage off of my cameras, my GoPro, my Sony cameras, or my phone. I upload that into my external hard drives. So on my external hard drives, I have everything beautifully organized and dated. It's so lovely. I love my external hard drive. And so while I'm uploading my footage, it takes, some time to upload all of these files. And so during that time, I will then start jotting down my ideas that I have and how I can put together videos. So for example, I always film on the weekend, whether it's like dirt biking or wrenching on my sleds or my dirt bikes. There's always something to be filmed. Does that make sense? There's always something that I can capture on my phone, on camera. And so if I have that idea going into the weekend, thinking, okay, I'm going to install my new throttle cable. Well, I'm going to film it. And I have an idea on how that's going to look, right? So I need you to go into every filming situation of like kind of pre-planning. What are you going to do? What are you going to capture? And then when you come to that hour of uploading footage, jotting down your ideas, you already have an idea of what you're going to be doing, right? Or what you're going to be creating as far as content. So I upload all of my stuff onto the external hard drive. I jot down my ideas, and I post every single day for 5 days a week. So that's a lot of content. I actually, this week, which we're end of November, I am posting 3 days a week. And this is the first time since March 1st that I've dropped 3 days. So that being said, my goal is to always be 2 weeks ahead for content creation. So my Instagram should have 10 reels ready to go. In this case, in our episode, I should have 6 reels always ready to go if we're working 2 weeks at a time. Now, if you're only working 1 week at a time, well, then that's 3 videos per week. You get the idea, I hope, and I hope this isn't too confusing, but if you can stay ahead, then no longer will you be the slave to social media. And I love that for you. I love that you can wake up in the morning, post that saved reel that you have in your drafts, and then enjoy the rest of your day. I love a babe who can schedule her content and not even be on her phone until she needs to. It's really about enjoying. Well, for me, it's enjoying those coffee moments, the early morning journal sessions. I don't want to be on my phone. I am posting for clients and myself. And so I have everything ready to go and scheduled. And if I didn't, I would be a miserable human being every Monday. And I don't want to be that way. So anyways, enough about me. I hope that this episode kind of gives you some inspiration, at least. I hope it motivates you to be a little bit more strategic and setting that time for yourself when it comes to creating content. And something that, a lot of women that come into my space is, trying to find the time. If you really want something, you'll make it happen. Okay, so if you really want to make creating content like a side hustle for yourself, or maybe even if it's just for fun and a hobby, but you still want to take it seriously, you'll make time for it. Okay. I always say, if you want something bad enough, you'll make changes, you'll do whatever you can to make shit happen. Okay. All right. Well, I want to know, what is your biggest struggle when it comes to creating content? Let me know either in the comments if you're over here on YouTube, or you can send me a DM over on Instagram at Angelisa Edwards. Let's tackle content creation together, because it should be a creative outlet and it should be fun. It shouldn't be a chore and it shouldn't be a struggle. Honestly, it's just taking that time, right? If I can be a supportive friend, then lean in. I want to hold that space for you. We can work together on this as well. I have people come into my mentorship programs, and this is something that we do together. And it's so much fun. I love seeing women crush it in their content creation goals, and they learn so much. And then they're able to not only use that on themselves, but for their businesses or their, friends' businesses or partnerships, and anyways, so on and so forth. Like, content creation can go such a long way. And I think it's just a lot of fun too. Anyways, that's all that I have for you today. I hope my recording sounds okay for your earballs, and I'll see you tonight if you guys are coming to the women's sled setup here in Pemberton. Until then, keep killing it safely and be the vibe. I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning in today's show. Please rate and review this podcast. I would forever be thankful and grateful. Share it with your friends, family, and whoever you feel would enjoy these types of conversations in the dirt bike, snowmobile, and motorsports community. If you are looking to support the show, I do have a few affiliate links in the show notes. And if you're looking for some confidence in the digital space, learning how to brand yourself, edit your epic sends, and just being the vibe, being your true self, your authentic self, shoot me a message. You can reach me over on my website, angelisaedwards.com. And as always, I am rooting for you, and keep killing it safely, and I'll see you next week.